The Tush push is going to be gone. All right,
they don't sound good.
We got a lot to talk about today, but yesterday was kind of the end of the owners' meetings, right? Jeff Lurie spoke. We'll hear from him a lot on our show today and what he had to say yesterday. But Hugh, yesterday when our show ended, I got a chance to hear a little bit of Rich McKay from the competition committee and Roger Goodell. And we're going to play both of those guys for you in the first hour of the show. But you know what hit me?
What hit you?
What hit me yesterday is that the NFL is absolutely screwing the Eagles. And they are rigging this thing to ban the tush push, not soon, but now. Yesterday.
but not soon, but real soon.
Real soon. They could have voted yesterday. And we all know what would have happened. They wouldn't have had the votes. It would have been somewhere near split. They wouldn't have had the votes. It said they tabled this thing to next month because they're trying to convince the teams that are on the fence to vote against the Eagles. I fully believe now. Like, my gut feeling now is the tush push is gone. That we're not going to have it for 2025. We'll never have it again because Goodell and the owners want this out. Let's hear from Roger Goodell yesterday with the nonsense about the injury stuff. I mean, it's total nonsense.
I like the preemptive strikes.
When the commissioner is speaking nonsense, you know that we're in trouble here. Here's Goodell yesterday.
I think there are safety issues that are being considered in that case. We have very little data from it, but it's beyond data. There's also, there's the mechanism of injury that we study, that type of thing that leads us to show the risk involved with a particular play or particular tackle.
See, this is, again, and I said this yesterday, and I say it again, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This is where being a grown-up sucks. It really, really does, because you want to walk up to Roger Goodell's face and look him dead in the eye and say, tell me the truth about what this is really about. Because you're echoing the sentiments of a lot of other people that when they were asked the same question, didn't have anything to back it up with.
No data.
None. But all y'all got in a room, and because you're trying to push this agenda, you don't have anything else to say but what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a safe play. Well, we don't know if it's not safe for sure, but we're trying to get ahead of this. That's the same thing that Sean McVay said. That's the same thing the Green Bay Packers said. So I woke up this morning when I started, I was like, yeah, this don't feel good. And that's why the Eagles are upset, because it's not about safety. This feels more personal.
Yeah.
I can handle say if you don't like a person. I can handle that. Or if you say, hey, I just think the play is unfair because you're the only team that do it. Okay, that's a different conversation. That's truth. I can handle that. But when you start sitting back, making up stuff, man, just to try to push your narrative and then couch the vote in order to get other people's sway, this is another thing that I wonder. What are you guaranteeing to billionaires that are allowing them to push this back to what, May?
Next month.
Next month.
Yeah,
May.
That's May.
Yeah, I had to make sure.
Yeah, it is. It's officially April. It's April 2nd.
We get to talk and forget what month it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that what are you guaranteeing or offering that you couch this, and now we're going to push it back and hopefully we get the votes that we want to push it through or get rid of it,
well,
I should say.
I don't know. It's cowardly, though. I mean, yesterday, this week was for rule changes. This is when they discuss things and they vote on things. And I fully believe that if they voted yesterday, the tush push would have stayed. And they know that, and that's why they pushed this vote back, because they want to convince the teams on the fence to vote against the Eagles. This is a push against the Eagles. They're screwing them. And the fact that they keep saying, well, there's no data, but. No, there's no but. If there's no data, there's no data. If there's no injury risk, there's no injury risk. So far, with 4 years of plays in the NFL where the Eagles run this, I was reading a story yesterday. Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, said that Howie asked for the data in the meeting, and the doctor was like, well, there's not been an injury, but when there is one, it could be bad. I could say that about every play in the NFL. Well, no one got hurt on this play, but when they do, watch out. That's football. This thing is gone, and I've accepted it here. 215-592-9494. Gut feeling. Is the tush push gone? Hugh, where are you today? So I think it's gone.
I'm remaining hopeful.
Oh, I think it's gone.
Hopeful
Hugh has arrived.
Here's the thing, though, Joe, and I'm going to remain optimistic until I can't. But here's the thing. I feel like there's not going to be enough votes to change the way the outcome already is. I think they might get a couple. They might swing a couple because the last time we checked, it was even, dead even.
16-16.
You need 9 to pass it, or you need 9 for it to stay, right?
Well, you need 24 to get rid of it. So
that's math.
Yeah, so they would need 9 more on the side of banning the tush push. Yeah, 9 more.
So I don't think they're going to get the 9 that they need. I don't think so.
Well, I guess they need 8 more.
Yeah. You know,
we try to do some math here. Bottom line is, they shelved this for a month to try to convince people.
Damn math problems.
Yeah, it's not great.
Messing up a good take all the time.
Can we hear from Jeffrey Lurie, who got up there yesterday, and good job by the owner of the Eagles, and tried to push back on some of the nonsense spewed by Rich McKay, spewed by Sean McVay, by McDermott, by all these guys there, including Roger Goodell. Here's Lurie yesterday talking about the injury risk here, or apparent injury risk of the tush push.
It's ironic that, people would bring up health and safety. We're at the top of the game in terms of wanting health and safety on every play. We voted for hip drop tackle and defenseless receiver. We will always, always support what is safer for the players. It's a no-brainer. If this is proven to be less safe for the players, we will be against the tush push. But until that's the case, to me, there'd be no reason to ban this play.
Say what you really want to say.
Now, he was a grown-up about it.
He was being a grown-up.
But he pushed back. This is crazy.
He did. And he's right, because they have been at the forefront of being safe. This is about something else, man. And that's the irritating thing about it, is because it's about something else. And, you sit there and you talk about being forthcoming and transparent in these meetings and all this other stuff. But you could tell some of the coaches that when they talked about it, you could tell there was some underlying stuff that you really didn't want to share with anybody. I'll go back to Sean McVay. And yesterday, I'm not a hater. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The fact that you went in the hallway and was having heated conversations about it. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't I hear how he got up? Like somebody said something about it being a play that you can get injured, and he asked for the data?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
The NFL's doctor, his name is Sills, Dr. Sills.
Dr. Sills.
Dr. Sills got up and tried to say this is a dangerous play, and Howie said, what's the data? Give me the information. And he said, well, there's none, but if someone gets hurt, it could be bad.
See, and that's, for you to be a doctor, and you just say that is, I would have been like, Doc, that's stupid of you to say. Well, imagine
if you were at the doctor and the doctor said you shouldn't do this, you'd get sick, and you said, oh, that happens a lot to people, and they said, well, that's never happened, but it could happen.
I would look at my doctor and be like, hey, Doc, I appreciate what you've done to me thus far, but I'm going to find me a new doctor.
Yeah.
Because you got to show me. I'm from Missouri, the show me state. Like, for you to sit there, like, this is the problem, a big problem that I have. Everybody's talking about the injuries, but nobody's bringing facts to the table.
Because no one's been injured on the play.
Nobody's bringing nothing to the table tangible that makes me want to look at this in a different way. And that's the problem. You're just talking about what you think's going to happen. Well, hell, I can tell you what's going to happen for a fact, that if you play football long enough, you're going to have arthritis. You're going to have bad knees. That's a fact. But that's what we all sign up for. This play right here has not shown to be injurious to anybody except for what Chris Jones, when he tried to do something stupid and he got hurt. That's about it.
Yep.
That's it. So, yeah, this does feel personal. This does feel personal.
Well, it absolutely does. 215-592-9494. Gut feeling right now as the NFL has tabled this for a month. Do you think the tush push is going to get banned for this coming season? I do. If they voted yesterday, I fully believe they wouldn't have had the votes. But now that they have, there's a month now to where Goodell and the owners can kind of congregate and push the people that are on the fence or rewrite the proposal. Because they could do that, too. They could rewrite the proposal. Because I did see a quote from Jim Harbaugh saying, it's kind of worded weird. He didn't like the wording. He didn't say he was fully against it. He just didn't love the wording. So there may be half the people in the room that are like, well, this is confusing. If you fix it, maybe I'll vote for it. I think this thing is gone. I think we've seen the end of the tush push. It is a joke. 215-592-9494 to weigh in here. I think the NFL is screwing the Philadelphia Eagles. Kyle, where do you come down? Gut feeling here, is the tush push gone?
Oh, it's so gone. Kiss the baby, the writing's on the wall. This is the Eagles right now versus everybody else.
Yep.
I don't care what these coaches go up to the podium and say. It's not really the coaches that are voting on it. It's the owners. And you know that the owners can just very easily say to these coaches, especially the young coaches like Kellen Moore, who should be on the Eagles side, that owner's like, well, I just hired you. we're voting against the tush push.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, it's not up to you. And it just feels like a losing battle. The NFL right now is doing the equivalent of long-talking their way to get their result in May. This tabling of the discussion was terrible news for the Eagles and the tush push. They only tabled it because they knew that if they voted, they weren't going to get enough votes to ban this thing. So they're sitting back. They're going to rewrite the dumb wording on this thing, I guess, to appease everybody, so that by the time in May they vote on it, it's out of here. So I'm basically operating under the assumption that next season we're not having the tush push in here. And I think that if you still think it's staying, you're doing a little bit of coping.
I think it's coping. I think it's head in the sand. I think we have hopeful Hugh, all that stuff. 215-592-9494. The worst part yesterday was Goodell. Because if the commissioner is on that side, right? You know, people always like, you're on one side or the other. It feels to me like he's on the side of banning this thing.
Yeah,
and if he wants that, it's eventually, and
that's
maybe, exactly.
That's what it felt like yesterday. When he said it, it's like, oh, heck, they got him. What Spike and those guys called the worm?
Yeah.
They got the worm.
Well, because it wasn't like he was down the middle. He sounded anti-tush push.
Yeah, he did. He sounded like he had, what they say, the worm. He had the worm.
Yeah, he's got the owner worm there.